People. Que pasa, sac passe, what they do. Now the first thing that is popping in the news, we're going to talk about a couple cases in which persons lose their life when their assailants were mentally ill, mentally challenged. And the problem that exists in Jamaica as it pertains to a whole lot of crazy people walking around in clean clothes and are causing all sorts of hurt, all sorts of murder to innocent, unsuspecting victims. Now the first case that I am going to speak about is an incident that occurred in a place called Morant Housing Scheme that is in Clarendon. It is said that a 13-year-old nephew, he had an argument with his 22-year-old uncle. That 13-year-old's name is Amarian Haniford. He attended Keltis High School in Clarendon. Based on the information, it is said that the verbal altercation, it turned into physical. The uncle draw some sort of kitchen utensil, juke up the 13-year-old in his neck. He was taken to the place of recovery. However, he met his demise. When the Popo came on the scene, the 22-year-old uncle, he was still there. He was taken into custody. Now people, what type of foundation, what type of housing structure is it that you have a 13-year-old argue with him uncle? Be that his uncle is 22-year-old, and people, I am not saying that the youth is wrong, and I am not saying that the uncle was the victim or the uncle was just responded. I am just saying, a 13-year-old, whenever you are arguing with somebody, a 13-year-old should not be given any sorts of instruction or given any sorts of arguments. And people, what were they arguing over? Nobody knows. So people, may just show you the type of dysfunctional stuff that happens in a lot of these households. However, the fact that the uncle was said to be of unsound mind, this tells you everything. It tells you that innocent people, unsuspecting people, are always going to lose their life when the relevant authority don't facilitate, have housing institution for these people. So people, here this man is living in a house, and then he is either causing problem, he is either the instigator, he is either of unsound mind. So therefore, whenever anything pops off, he is not going to handle it rationally. He is going to draw or make anger come in, because people, that is what persons of unsound that are mentally challenged do. And people, in this case, we see that is the case, tragically. Now, the next thing that I find very sad is that whenever any of these incidents occur, there is no sort of emergency vehicle. If you call 911, sometimes the popo take forever and a day. There is no sort of ambulance. So therefore, the neighbor or the neighborhood taximan, he becomes the paramedic. Now, whenever people have life-threatening injuries, it is always good when you have some sort of professional on the spot. So people, the point that I am trying to make is that whenever anybody gets any sorts of life-threatening injuries, time is very important. Time is essential. Time is money. And in this case, we saw that time usually ends up with somebody losing their life. Now, before I move to the next part of my video, please subscribe to my next channel. It is called Jamaica Dancehall Source, and I'll be pinning the link to that channel in the description of this video. Also, please subscribe to this channel, and when you subscribe, please press the notification bell or icon, and also press all in the option. Now people, still continuing on the topic of mental illness in Jamaica, still in the parish of Clarendon, Maypen to be specific. One man lost his life. He was taken out, Tarzan and Jane, jungle type of justice. His name is Ricardo Brown, O.C. Tony, more affectionately known as Tony by his family, his granny, his mother, Ray-Tay, Lele, Blue, blah, bling. Now people, based on the information, it is said that Tony was all over the market that day. He was troubling everybody. vendors were there and they were kind of concerned. Two brothers, one of them a vendor, 31-year-old, then the next brother, 40-year-old, he is a truck driver. It is said that the fiancé of the vendor and Tony had some sort of verbal altercation. Tony had bad up the man fiancé. The man jump in the vendor. Tony juke up the vendor. His brother also intervened. Tony also juke up the brother. One brother got juke up in the shoulder, the next one in the shoulder, and also in the stomach, in the side. It was then that vendors and people at the market took it upon themselves and said, listen, this man is getting carried away. This man is getting way out of hand. Somebody need to do something. They need to step on this justice right away. It is said that the ANGRY people run him down, chase him down, juke him up, lick him up, all sorts of board on the side of him head, rete, lele, blue, blah, bling. After the melee, all three persons were taken to the place of recovery. However, Mr. Ricardo Brown, Tony, he did not make it. He succumbed to his injuries. Now people, based on what the grandmother is saying, he is not a troublemaker. He never give any sorts of trouble. When they found him, the condition in which he was in, dirty, him looked like a madman. Well people, guess what happens? That is what happens when red spill all over your body and then people basically are trample you upon the ground. People basically are pelted with all sorts of stone, all sorts of this, all sorts of that. However, when the Popo do their investigation and them check, this man had all sorts of running with the security force. As a matter of fact, a couple of years ago, there was some sort of altercation in which him was some Popo or some sort of soldier, and he was arrested. However, people, like we say, on that fateful day in which he lost his life, he was still at it once again. He was not institutionalized for his action. He was not in any sorts of management, meaning that the relevant authority monitoring him, not managing. However, until things got out of hand, until him juke up three other people after being in the argument with the fiancé of one of those persons, that was when he basically met his demise. So people, what this shows you, when you listen to these family members, mothers, grandmothers, and sometimes even the residents, them know say the man kind of Looney Tune, them know say him head chip, them know say him nana head. However, they are saying that he is not a troublemaker. Well, maybe what, grandma and mama, maybe you need to get out a little more often. Maybe you need to communicate with the residents in the area and see if your son was any sorts of troublemaker. Now people like me say, based on what the mother is saying, him say he must see all sorts of stuff, he is hearing all sorts of stuff. He is basically in chip lick. He is mentally challenged. However, people, at the end of the day, we have to blame the relevant authority. And while it is not right to blame the Popo, I am speaking about persons who are supposed to secure or have the safety of the residents and citizens of Jamaica in check, meaning that if somebody needs to be institutionalized, take them down a Bellevue, take them off of the street, put them in some sort of appropriate institution, so therefore they don't harm themselves and even worse, harm innocent people going about their merry business. And people, in this case, we say that is the case. And once again, no sorts of emergency vehicle. Your neighborhood taximan or your neighborhood neighbor, he has become the paramedics. And people, when time is upon you, time is money, and even most importantly, time is life. Point blank and period. Now further on in the news is an update about a story that I spoke about maybe about 24 hours ago. And it pertains to an incident in which 8 persons were conned up. From those 8, at least 3 persons lost their life. 5 persons were taken to the place of recovery. Of those 5 persons, a 11-year-old and also a 14-year-old. Based on the information, it is said that the motive behind all of this is based on a 17-year-old that was taken out. He is from Westmoreland. So on Friday nights, the 17-year-old got conned up. He was taken out. Saturday morning, maybe about 10 something, his brother, the brother's name is Delano Spence, he planned, he orchestrated, and he executed a reprisal. Based on the information, it is said that 4 gunmen walking at the era, this is in Norwood, St. James, Montego Bay. There were at least 6 persons in our shop, maybe more. The 4 gunmen blazed up the shop after the smoke clear. An 11-year-old and also 5 other persons were in the shop. So therefore, that is 6 persons right there, so get conned up. 11-year-old was taken to the hospital in a serious condition. However, unbeknown to anybody, a 14-year-old was also in her house in the living room. Don't quote me on the specifics. She was hit in the head. She was also taken to the place of recovery in critical condition. So people, that is 7. Moments after Mr. Delano Spence, he was found by a train track. He was out. Now people, remember I said that the motive behind all of this is the loss of life of Mr. Delano Spence's 17-year-old brother. So therefore, Delano Spence came back to avenge his brother's DEATH. And what is the cause? Because of some sort of lottery scam deal that went array. It went bad. It went way, way left. So therefore, the brother lose his life Friday night. Then the next brother, seeking vengeance, lost his life the Saturday morning, less than 12 hours after that. The Pope are asking, is it kind of strange? Was this some sort of back and forth between 2 sets of gangsters? Because based on the information, the evidence, it seems as if it was just a roll-up, drive-by, pie, people get pie up. However, it seems as if in all the mass confusion, mass takeaway, Mr. Spence was hit by his own cronies. Mr. Spence was taken out by friendly fire. That is what the Popo are surmising. So people, the moral to all of this is that whenever man a plan, God a wipe out. So therefore, you know that you're a criminal, you know that you're a scammer, you know that you're a gunman, you know that you're a takeaway person. Your brother lose his life maybe because of you. So therefore, you was the cause of your brother losing his life, more than likely. Because based on what our security minister, Mr. Horace Chang said, Dr. Horace Chang, he said that he was a mentor for this youth. He knew the family. He was making sure that this youth that had ambitions to go to college, went to college. So therefore, he was getting all sorts of support, financial support also. However, it seems as if he was mixed up. And obviously, his brother was mixed up. So therefore, the brother's conscience must have been bothering him when he heard that his brother lose his life, maybe more than likely because of him. So therefore, he went and he tried to avenge it. However, people, it seems as if his diabolical plan basically backfired, and he also lost his life. The tragic thing is that in all of this, when these people, 4 men, roll up, I am sure that they scouted, I am sure that they pre-out everything. I am sure that they might have seen this 11-year-old, and then again, they are a set of cowards. Them just like to blaze up and run. However, it seems as if when they were blazing up, them also blaze up them own crony. Point blank and period. So people, it is only sad to see that innocent people, 8 innocent people get hit. 3 of them did not make it. One of those persons was a bad guy. The next 2 people innocent as far as I know. An 11-year-old and also 14-year-old got in at the mix-up. Almost lose them life. So people, it only shows you that These people, they are indiscriminate with whatever they do, and they don't care if a 13-year-old, if a 15-year-old, 11-year-old granny, mama, pregnant, it does not matter. However, people, the good thing is that at least two of them, well, at least one of them is gone, as far as we know. The bad people, point blank and period. So anyways, people, that is my views on the whole thing as it pertains to that. And like I said, it is just my views and opinion. It is not the gospel. Your views and opinion can be respectfully different from mine. But let me know what you think in the comment section. Bless up.